Right now, though, like Dave has been saying, this has seemingly significantly become more of a straight line wind threat as we've been going through these very early morning hours. But again, it is that area, I want to say close to or just north of Three Rivers, that we are still keeping an eye on as we are headed through these very early morning hours.
And widespread damage across all of Stark County with a potential tornado touching down last night. We have the damage on the CW25.
But then it's the widespread storms that we are expecting to see. Fairly intense rainfall, likely going to be adding to that saturated ground. I wouldn't be surprised to see the rivers rushing on Monday, but I'm also not surprised to see flakes falling as you're stepping out the door Monday morning. Widespread snow after the cold front. Those temperatures really dropping in the overnight hours, and it is going to be bringing us a lot of snow with lake effect expected going into Tuesday morning. Even though we are going to be seeing a high 15 degrees above average for this time of year, 96 degrees for the expected high there on Monday, 81 degrees average for this time of year. What's tonight's low, you say? 78 degrees. Again, these lows is really why we have that extreme heat warning. You cannot cool down if these lows are above 70 degrees naturally.
It's like what they're doing is they are diverting traffic that is headed eastbound on State Road 2, and they are diverting it south on Timothy Road, because eastbound State Road 2, a little bit farther down the road, there are still cranes that are clearing this early morning slide-off crash that tipped a semi. That is what the situation is here on the corner of State Road 2 and Timothy. Even people turning around because they know they don't want to mess with this. But one of the ways damage is communicated was taken down by the storm. A 35-foot radio tower now flat on the ground. Now we are actually on the road, a road that had water over it. This is Lemon Creek Road between Baroda and Bridgman in central Berrien County. I'm going to step off the here and show you what exactly we are seeing. Again, that sign blocking people from headed that way. Same thing on the other side of the road. Of course, there is no water over this road right now, but I want people to be heeding those signs across portions of Michiana, that the road conditions are not great as you're stepping out the door. Even on a main road like this, we actually just passed a car that had slid off the road. That's number 4. So what you can see behind me is the St. Joe River at a fairly high water level, some of the highest water that I have seen here, at least in the 2 years that I have been in the area. Again, Michiana, we are dealing with some high water across a good portion of our area. Flood warnings in effect for some of those rivers. What we've seen on the road so far, well, the one that we're on right now might be the worst one that we've been on. As we take a look in front of the mobile weather tracker right now, traveling on West County Road 700 near Culver. I believe we are in Fulton County now. You can see a lot of that fog close to the surface and a lot of the snow not plowed on some of these side roads. Before the swirling, sniffing, and sampling of different wines, you may wonder, well, why does it taste this way? Well, the taste isn't determined in the making of the wine itself, but more somewhere like here in the vineyard, where dry, wet, hot, cold, cloudy, or sunny conditions can all determine the flavor of the wine.
It's also lovely. It's just doing a little bit of a jaunt. Very nice.
As I was riding along a portion of the Greenway that has been finished in New Buffalo, I couldn't help but find some peace and quiet, even in the bustling city.
Now, if you are headed out to Notre Dame Stadium, you are most likely going to be needing that jacket maybe a little bit later in the game, but earlier, temperatures are going to again be in those upper 60s across most of Michiana, and then just going to be cooling down close to 60 degrees there by the time we're getting to the end of the fourth quarter. Hopefully, if you are going to be celebrating again, fingers crossed, Irish win tonight. Again, that jacket's still going to be a good thing to grab as you're headed out the door.
It was so beautiful over the weekend, and we're kind of back to those cool temps again this morning.
Cool temperatures, but actually seasonable for this time of year. It's hard to say, but the Saturday, Friday temperatures, well, sadly, they were outliers. We are back to these fall-like conditions with the potential for frost as you're stepping out the door.
We've got a calm kind of start to the morning. morning, but we do have some potential severe weather kind of lingering in the forecast.
Now, that's, of course, going to be as we're starting the work week. This weekend, though, thankfully, if you want to get out there and do any of those spring activities, good time to air out the house. Today and tomorrow are going to be great days to do that. Take a look at the highs expected to be around Michiana.
You would believe it, they look even better on me, but I'm not going to put them on this morning because right now they are... frozen completely solid. I put these jeans out here in this cold weather at 5:25, and yeah, stiff, very stiff right now. I actually didn't expect this to happen this quickly because
the mobile weather tracker still traveling through Berrien County this morning, and as you can see, nothing on the roads and almost nothing on live Doppler radar. Good morning, meteorologist Oliver Moster here with your weather update as we're taking a look at live Doppler radar right now, 644. Starting to see some of these sprinkles trickle their way into Michiana right on schedule. Going to be seeing some fairly light snow here, system snow through the rest of the morning hours, but that lake effect expected to be kicking in around 8 to 9 o'clock, and that is when we are going to be under that winter storm warning in just 15 minutes here at 7 a.m. Winter storm warning for Berrien, Cass, LaPorte, St. Joseph, and Marshall counties. The winter weather advisory for Elkhart, Kosciuszko, and Stark counties. These last until 1 p.m. on Thursday. That's when the snow is expected to be wrapping up. Temperatures as you're stepping out the door, the warmest that they will be through the rest of the day, with that cold front headed our way. Just going to be bringing in some cooler conditions and some breezy conditions as well. 30 degrees expected high around noon. The winds coming from the north-northwest sustained around 25 miles an hour, gusting up to around 40 miles an hour. Threat tracker a level 2 through tonight, but that does increase as you're headed into tomorrow morning with that snow just accumulating and hazardous driving conditions expected. Lake effects snow through Thursday morning, 6 inches and more likely in the area highlighted in red on your screen, potentially over 9, even 10 inches in some areas with localized heavy snowfall. Hazardous travel expected, slick conditions and very low visibility near zero with rolling whiteouts, especially as you're going through the commute hours tonight and into tomorrow morning. That is what we're going to be watching out for here on the forecast track. Take a look at your screen. Again, starting to see some of these sprinkles make their way into Michiana around 7, 8 o'clock. That's when it's going to be a little bit more widespread of the system snow, and then that breeze picks up and the lake effect does start before the morning is done, and that sticks with us through the afternoon hours. Here's at 5:30, maybe you're headed home from work at this point. You're going to be seeing again those heavy bands of snow, mainly down the US 31 corridor. That's the area that I'm watching out for the most travel impacts, but also the toll road 94, areas like that are going to be perpendicular to the wind, and is just going to be a mess, especially visibility wise. That heavy band of lake effect snow, really just a fire hose even through Thursday morning here, stopped at 7 a.m. and we see it's still following that track of US 31, again dissipating as we're headed into the early afternoon hours. Could be seeing a little bit of sun there on Thursday before more system snow on Friday. Here's what we're expecting though through Thursday. Take a look at your screen. This is the snowfall forecast. 1 to 3 inches for Warsaw, Goshen, Elkhart, 3 to 6 inches, Plymouth into the 6 to 9 inches, and South Bend in there as well. The area highlighted in blue, that's where we're expecting to see localized 9 inches or more. Some models are putting snowfall totals very, very high this morning. Take a look at the 10-day forecast. Again, the threat tracker at a level 3 for Thursday, cooling down into the weekend with the snow not expected to let up until Martin Luther King Jr. Day.